The depth of understanding is not the understanding of concepts, theories, facts, and information. Therefore, the students who focus their preparation on all these things, they generally get low marks. That is, they struggle to get even 40% marks. That is 100 out of 250 marks in main written examination, despite of answering all the questions in their best capacity. And similarly, in preliminary examination, they face difficulty to qualify it, and in interview test, the quality of their responses is poor. The depth of understanding is crucial for civil servants to work. Therefore, UPSC test candidates depth of understanding in the civil services examination. The depth of understanding is the deeper understanding of real life experiences. That is, it is the deeper understanding of events, issues, crises, and problems of real life which we experience in our day-to-day life, such as we experience inflation, unemployment, poverty, corruption, crime and women's safety issue, road accidents, violation of common man's fundamental rights, optimal and suboptimal results of government policies and initiatives, and various global issues, etc. However, we seldom try to understand why these issues or events are happening the way it is. The deeper understanding of real life experiences lead to broad horizons and a profound mind, whereas the superficial understanding of real life experiences lead to narrow horizons and a shallow mind. Our horizons and quality of our mind determine our worldview, and our worldview determines our responses, actions, and behaviors, thus our performance. When our worldview is based on broad horizons and a profound mind, it is close to reality, and the results of our actions will be intended and outstanding. Whereas when our worldview is based on narrow horizons and a shallow mind, it will be superficial and far from reality, and our actions will bring unintended results, and our performance will be suboptimal or less productive and many a times counterproductive. We can easily understand the deeper understanding of real world experiences with the iceberg model of current reality. An iceberg has very less part or portion above the water, and more part of it is beneath the water in sea. Similarly, the events, issues, crises, and problems we face today have symptoms at the top and root issues below the line that are not visible to us. The events, issues, crises, and problems that define our world today arises from underlying structures, paradigms of thought, and source. We generally just react to symptoms that we are facing but ignore the deeper dimension, that is root issues of events, issues, crises, and problems, and it is kind of the 90% of system that is below the line. And when we look only at the symptoms, we have clusters of challenges and problems. If we want to understand how various issues, events, crises, and problems impact people and how our society react to them, we need to closely observe and do mindful thinking about the root causes of them. That is, to understand what is the underlying structure of the issue or problem, what paradigms of thought are used, and what is the source of the problem. Underlying structure means what you are experiencing is an outcome of a structure. It includes institutions, rules, regulations, laws, work culture, and behavior of people, etc. This structure is based on some specific ideology or thinking. It is the paradigm of thought, and the source is the purpose on which thinking is generated and on which whole structure is based. Understanding the symptoms along with the structures and paradigms of thought and source of the problem will deepen our understanding of the real life experiences. That is, it will lead to depth of understanding of real world and will broaden our horizons and develop a profound mind. As a result, our worldview will be close to reality. However, if we engage in shallow thinking and the deeper dimensions of the issue or problems are ignored and our responses will be based on symptoms only, then it will develop the superficial understanding of real life and it will narrow our horizons and develop a limited mind. As a result, our worldview will be superficial and far from reality. As a civil services aspirant, you need to understand the issues, events, crises, and problems of real life in its all aspects, because civil servants work in real world or real life. They lead and improve the major government functions. Their decisions and actions affect and shape the political, economic, and social well-being of the country, that is public value. The quality of their decisions and the actions is determined by their depth of understanding of the real world. Therefore, depth of understanding of the real world is the most important quality for civil servants in the 21st century, and that is the reason the civil services examination tests candidates' depth of understanding rather than theories, concepts, facts, information, and fluency of subject matter, etc. Now we will understand the depth of understanding with some real life examples such as Article 32, unemployment issue, and crime and women's safety issue. First example is of Article 32. If your understanding of Article 32 is limited to its provision and procedure, that is, measure of judicial protection and enforcement procedure in the matter of the fundamental right, then it is a superficial understanding of Article 32. But understanding its purpose and true spirit in which it was made an important part of the Indian Constitution, and understanding the conditions in which its purpose and the true spirit can be achieved is the depth of understanding of Article 32. The provision and procedure of Article 32 can be read from any textbook or internet, but to understand its purpose and true spirit and the conditions in which it can fulfill its purpose is to understand Article 32 in its all aspects. The purpose and true spirit of Article 32 is to evolve a political system and a political culture that is based on justice. The political system that is based on justice supports social transformation and economic progress. Thus, it leads to a progressive and prosperous society. Our historical experiences have taught us that the power balance between the state and the individual is the basis for a political system that is based on justice. If the power balance tilts excessively towards the state, then the exploitative or unjust political system and political culture evolves or emerges. And that is the reason today's liberal and mature democracies respect and protect the individual's rights to create a political system that is based on justice. Here, it is important to understand that the purpose and the true spirit of Article 32 does not fulfill by writing it down in the Constitution book, but when people are able to access and enjoy it in their lives. As the Constitution is a living document, therefore, understanding it in its letter and spirit will provide you the deep understanding of its real life experiences, whereas knowing only the provision and the procedure of Article 32 will give you shallow or superficial understanding. The purpose and true spirit of Article 32 is fulfilled under three conditions. First, individuals are aware, educated, and their capacities are increased. That is, the people should be aware of their fundamental right and its violations, and they must be educated and confident to get legal access in case of violation of their fundamental rights and can afford to go to court for the enforcement of it. The second condition that has to be fulfilled is that the capacity and the sensitivity of the governments is increased. That is, the government system and its functionaries are to be sensitive and protect the fundamental rights of the people rather than violate it. The functions of government and its functionaries should bring freedom and opportunity to the common man and create social, economic, and political institutions which will ensure justice and fullness of life to every man and woman and establish government probity. And the third condition is the effectiveness and the capacity of the courts are enhanced. In case of the violation of individuals' fundamental rights, the courts should ensure its liberal interpretation and larger implication to establish a culture of respecting every common man's fundamental rights. Therefore, when these three conditions are fulfilled, that is, individuals are empowered, the government is sensitive to the individual's fundamental rights, and the capacity and effectiveness of the courts are enhanced, then only the purpose and the true spirit of Article 32 can be achieved. That is, individuals are able to enjoy their fundamental rights to their fullest, and our political system and culture will be based on justice and rule of law will prevail in society. This is the depth of understanding of Article 32. The second real life example of depth of understanding is to understand unemployment issue in India. Unemployment is a major policy concern and a burning issue for most of the governments in India today. To define employment and unemployment and no related data, government schemes and initiatives is just the knowledge or information that you hold about unemployment issue. But to understand its reasons clearly and to provide solutions that are reasonable, workable, and meaningful will depict your depth of understanding of the unemployment issue. However, when this issue is not understood deeply and completely, or when we look only the symptoms of the problem, then the reasons of unemployment are given, such as large population, lack of resources, geographical conditions, caste system, labor, immobility, and many more like this. And the solutions based on this superficial understanding understanding or symptomatic reasons or incomplete understanding of the unemployment issue will be of same level, that is, they will be unreasonable, non-workable and meaningless. Here it is very important to understand that in the civil services examination, you are not expected to find or provide final or permanent solutions. Rather, you are expected that your understanding of the issue or problem should be close to dominant perspective. The dominant perspective is that point of view on an issue or problem on which experts have common consensus and it is close to reality. Therefore, when your understanding of the issue will be close to the dominant perspective, then it will be more closer to reality and your response will create a qualitative difference among your competitors. The dominant perspective for the solution of unemployment problem in India is that the governments have to work on two fronts to tackle this issue. Firstly, they should focus on rapid economic growth of the country, and secondly, there is a need to enhance the employability of the people so that they are able to get their desired job. To promote rapid economic growth, the governments should focus on creating a conducive environment for it by increasing the investment and FDI flow, increase export and expand the domestic market, improve the physical, legal and social infrastructure of the country, effective government and reduce policy uncertainty, rationalization of taxation and labor laws, etc. And to enhance the employability of the people, it is very important to focus on their education, skills, attitudes and health aspect. Out of these two fronts, that is rapid economic growth and enhanced employability, the governments are needed to work more aggressively on increasing the economic growth, because it is experienced worldwide that when the appropriate job opportunities are available, people generally do learn required skills and attitudes. And if there is a sluggish economy and the employability of the people are enhanced, then it will lead to exploitation of labor force. And in case of South Korea, the same happened. The government of South Korea started an education drive that result in a lot number of highly educated people with skills and attitudes entered in the job market, but at the same time economic growth was not increased proportionately. It result in increased competition among people for employment and therefore exploitation of people by employers. That is, people have to work long hours in substandard environments and exploitative conditions at very low salaries. Therefore, the governments are required to increase the pace of economic growth more aggressively, and simultaneously they should focus on enhancing the employability of the people. When your understanding of the unemployment issue is based on such aspects, then it will represent your depth of understanding of this issue and your response will be qualitatively better than others and you will end up getting better marks in the exam. Now let us understand the depth of understanding with another real life example, that is crime and women's safety issue. The crime and women's safety issue remains a major challenge or problem in our society. It shows that the government's efforts, laws, policies and rules are less effective to tackle this issue. When you just react to the symptoms of this problem, that is when you have superficial understanding on crime and women's safety issue, then you reasoned that crime is increasing in society, be it against women or common men, because of poverty, unemployment, lack of education, lack of moral values and dominated materialistic values, overburdened police and justice system, alcohol, drugs, virtual world, etc. And the solutions based on above reasons will be of same nature and degree, such as increase the number of police personals and judges, sensitize the boys, value education, awareness to provide the girls self-defense training, increase the strictness of laws and rules, etc. These all solutions are the symptomatic treatment, so are less effective and do not provide a final or permanent solution that can create a safe and crime-free society for people. However, a deeper understanding that is based on the root causes of the problem clearly depicts that the crimes in society generally happens out of compulsions or motives. The number of crimes that happens out of compulsion are very less, and the main reason of crimes is motive. Therefore, increased number of crimes in our society clearly denotes that our criminal justice system is not effective to demotivate people to commit crime to fulfill their motives, and the common people are less empowered and thus they are more vulnerable to crimes. The main reason for less effective criminal justice system and less empowered people is that our police and courts are not people centric and are not sensitive to the rights of the people. They lack professional competencies, attitudes and SOP. There is a rampant corruption in police and courts. The laws, rules and procedures are less effective because they are not clear and specific, and there is a lack of capacity and resources to police and courts. These all factors make our criminal justice system less effective and out of reach of common men, and common people are less empowered. As a result, criminals are empowered, motivated and confident to commit crime. It is very important to understand that there is a need to empower the people by making governments and its functionaries people-centric and sensitized towards people's rights, and strengthen the police and court system. This will demoralize and demotivate criminals to commit crime. If only police and the court system are strengthened and the common people are not empowered, then corruption and exploitation will increase. Strengthening the police and the court system will work like good fences make good neighbors and will establish values in society. As we learn values from society but not books, as a result, good values will automatically prevail in society. This is the depth of understanding of crime and women's safety issue, and experts hold this opinion. That is, it is a dominant perspective on this issue, and therefore when your response will reflect this level of understanding, then your responses will be qualitatively better than others. Therefore, depth of understanding means that you just do not react to the symptoms only and do not develop your understanding on looking on the symptoms, but to deep dive, that is, closely observe and think mindfully the root causes of the problem or issue by looking the underlying structures, paradigms of thoughts and source of the problem.